Good evening. It's June 24th, 2015. This meeting is being broadcast live and will be recorded for rebroadcast. Our meetings are available online at www.auburnguide.com. Before we begin, is anyone making a recording of this meeting? Besides you. Okay. That being said, the first item on tonight's agenda is 7 o'clock public hearing. David Pappas, a notice of intent for a proposed project located at 129 West Street here in Auburn. Is there a motion to open?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Good evening. I'm going to just set up right here.
Sure. If you'd introduce yourself too.
Just for the record, my name is Scott Morrison from Ecotech, here with Chris McClure, the design engineer, and David Pappas, the applicant. Just to reacquaint people, we had filed the notice of intent back in February. We had a public meeting. The commission didn't have any comments. They requested a site walk. Subsequently, we had a site walk where we've gone, looked at the site, looked at these areas. There were no comments based on my recollection, based upon the site walk. We've had a number of continuations simply because we were waiting for the planning board to approve the project. There were a bunch of minor little details, things that were changed, nothing significantly.
Right.
Just to kind of go through quickly, just to get people oriented, this is West Street. This is CSX Railway that's up here. The Mass Pike is down here. And the far side is the Auburn Sportsman's Club. I think it's a gun range on that side of the property. Proposing a cul-de-sac with 5 single-family homes. I didn't color this up, but the areas in the buffer zone are here. So you've got a portion of the house that's a grading in the buffer zone here. You've got a little portion, a little section of the roadway here and here, and a detention basin here, and then a little bit of grading and driveway for this house. We do have 2 wetland crossings we proposed. Essentially, we need 2 driveway access points to get to this upland island. There's an upland island here, and there's actually significant upland on the back side of the stream. It's not proposed to be touched whatsoever. The planning board requires driveways on the front, the driveways on the existing lots. That's why we've split these. So we've got 2 houses here with 2 separate driveways. We're using there's an existing cart path that goes across the wetlands here. Most of this is unvegetated anyway. We're installing 12-inch reinforced concrete pipes. There's no stream through here. It's just, you've got a little bit of sheet flow. I think the main stream channel's here, but you do have a little bit of flow and a seepage through this wetland. So we don't have a stream crossing, but we're providing culverts to maintain any flow, any flows. We're constructing a replication area. We've got 3,150 square feet of fill and 4,800 square feet of wetland replication. We provided a detailed wetland replication protocol. We also provided an alternative analysis and justification for these crossings because we have a waiver from the bylaw that we were doing work in the 25, 50 state wetland itself for these 2 crossings, as well as the detention basin. Detention basin is located in this area here. There's some existing grading and an existing kind of swale and discharge point at that location. It's the low point of the site. We couldn't shift it anywhere any further from the wetland because of this point here is a property corner. So we've got everything squeezed up as tight as we can to that property corner, but we can't slide that any further away. So we're utilizing kind of the existing disturbed area. Generally, from this wetland towards the front, a lot of it's historically been kind of mined, and there's an existing barn and some other structures out there. So we're maintaining the 25-foot setback with the exception of this basin in the front. And then the natural portions of the site from essentially this wetland back, we're maintaining, holding the 50-foot offset with the exception of the 2 crossings to access those lots. Protecting wetland resource areas during construction, the silt fence, along with there's some details for swales and some significant erosion control details that the DPW has asked for, and those are presented on the full set of plans. I just pulled out these two.
Right.
I'd be happy to answer questions if the commission has them.
So where are you with the planning board?
Planning board closed and approved last night.
Okay. All right. Any questions? We've walked the site a couple of times. I think we're pretty familiar with it. Is there any comment from the public? Okay. In that case, is there a motion to close?
I'll move to close.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thanks.
Nice and early.
Hopefully you guys can this quick.
Thanks, Scott. Good night.
Do you have revised minutes for April 22nd?
I thought we pretty much corrected them.
We did.
But-
I'm just wondering if you revised them so we have a final set to look at.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I have them here with just the scratches on them, with the corrections, but we can do it the next one.
We have a lot of minutes that are
Huh?
we're gonna have to consider a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
So,
I know it.
all right, I think we should probably defer then on those minutes until the next meeting.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I think you would send me an email, Sheila, that someone in the butter was complaining about 430 Rochdale Street,
Yes,
and the question was, who has jurisdiction?
right.
It's not us, it's the
I was
Division of
thinking the police.
Fisheries and Wildlife.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't the police enforce the noise on the hour?
you know what, that's not our issue.
Yeah,
I suspect that if the abutter is aggrieved, they can call the police.
yeah,
You know, and if they feel that, whoever the contractor that's doing the tree cutting there is going beyond the scope of the tree cutting plan, they can contact the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife.
okay.
So, you know, and we know that they're local, they're located in Westboro. So, that'd be my suggestion.
So that would have been some of the correspondence we received back, same person or party. There was some gentleman that you had spoke with, is that who we should contact or
And I
who
can't
they
remember.
should contact?
I think again, they should speak to, excuse me,
I have his name in the office.
the Assistant Director of Division of Fisheries and Wildlife is Thomas French. And the number that's on the correspondence that we received is 508-389-6360.
Okay,
So that's where I would contact.
all right, thank you.
We also, I don't know if you sent the email to everyone, but about the temporary certificate of occupancy
I
for the
think I
middle
just
school.
sent it to you.
Okay, so the question has come up, can a temporary certificate of occupancy be issued to the middle school before they obtain an order of conditions from us? And I actually don't see there being an issue. I mean, as long as they're not tromping in areas that are being restored or maintained, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do that,
Yeah.
you know? So when would that take place? Would that be, I mean, I know
I
they're
think it's
gonna...
gonna be soon. Now, I think he's going out, thinking it's next week.
Is the building
Bill
complete?
Faniff. I don't know how much is done over there. I haven't.
That isn't
been over there.
intended to open for September, is it?
Right.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I think that he was going over to meet Bill Faniff and they were going to be going over things. I'm not exactly sure why.
because it seems to me that if they're gonna be issuing a temporary certificate of occupancy, it must be substantially complete.
Yeah,
I've noticed they've been cleaning out the middle school, the present middle school in the past week,
yeah,
Probably transferring.
and dumping and, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's our dumpster.
Okay.
So your response again to that was that
Well,
it doesn't,
I mean, I think again,
Yeah.
I think it's apples and oranges. I mean, I can't recall a situation where either a municipal or private building needed our blessing or needed a certificate of compliance before they could, operate.
I mean, if they're gonna park vehicles in the buffer zone on dirt or something, that would be,
yeah,
probably in our purview, but
I'm sure they're not doing that.
Yeah, and I don't think, I mean, they're not even close to coming before us or requesting a certificate of compliance, right?
I don't think so. He said they put, is that, not turf, but what is that stuff they spray it?
AstroTurf.
No, what's that stuff? they
Hydro-
spray?
the
Yeah,
hydroseeded?
Hydroseeded it, I think he said.
Okay,
But that hasn't, nothing's happened with that yet.
and that's gonna take a while to take,
Yeah.
really.
I think he was just concerned if he was issuing an occupancy before the certificate of compliance was issued. I said, that happens all the time.
Yeah, it does.
So,
hmm.
I think he was just concerned about that.
Okay. Well, we can certainly keep our eye on it.
Okay. Maybe we could, 1 William Street, we have the as-built plan.
We do.
Yes. And I'm hoping someone went over there. You had gone over and taken some pictures. No, that was 3.
That was a long time
That
ago.
was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of pictures of one though too, because I took a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Because she's a picture taking kind of gal.
I went to get
No,
everything.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought I would have time today to go, and I wasn't able to.
Okay.
So-
Did anyone else get over there? 1
I
Williams?
jog, but I
Yeah,
don't know, they were building the other one.
Yeah,
I saw.
yeah.
that's what I
didn't look
thought
into
too.
it.
Okay. Well, we did have some correspondence from
They're looking for a certificate of compliance.
Tisman, certify the house has been built in substantial compliance with the approved conservation plan.
Okay.
That's in it.
Probably go one with
Oh, yeah, yeah, I mean, it'll take 10 minutes, so maybe we could even do it this weekend.
Okay,
Okay, so one or more of us will go out there and we'll get it done.
all right. So that would be, what's the date?
Saturday will be the 27th.
27th, thank you. All right.
We still haven't gotten an as-built plan for 20
No.
Jade Hill Road.
No,
Why not?
I don't, apparently they're not doing anything with it. That was a real old,
I understand that.
haven't heard back from them.
Okay. Yeah, this is the filing where there was a special order conditions that was not recorded with the standard order conditions, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I'm sure we requested an as-built
And I
plan.
forgot what year it was. It was something old. Was it
Right.
1993 or something like that?
I was on the commission at the time, I may have been the only one, and maybe Louise, I'm not sure. But it wasn't 93, it was more recent than that.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, it had to have been more recent than that. Sure.
97?
Yeah, it might have been like 97, 98. I know. All right. The next matter on our agenda is a 7:15 public hearing. Notice of intent for Jonathan and Deborah Mallard for property located at 219 West Street in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, vote.
Aye,
Okay. Welcome.
Hi,
Hi, can you identify yourself?
Sure,
please?
Mark Farrell, Green Hill Engineering. I'm the design engineer. And this is Frank Mulhart, the property owner.
Very good.
So can I put it right up here?
Please.
Yeah, okay. Basically, this is an existing house that need of repair, and Frank's purchased it, and it doesn't pass Title V, so he needs to upgrade the septic system and bring it into compliance. So what we're proposing to do is to take the existing house here. Currently, the house is served by a cesspool that's down here, and that didn't pass Title V. So the proposal is to bring it into compliance, is to put in a new 1,500-gallon septic tank, and then follow it by a pipe and stone leach field.
Okay.
There's a wetland beyond here that I show right in here. This is kind of wooded, got some invasive species in there. This is a 50-foot offset from the edge of the wetland. So the actual pipe and stone is 55 feet, Title V code is 50 feet. There'll be some minor grading extending out into this 50-foot offset from the wetland. Here's a 100-foot buffer, so pretty much all of the work is going to be in the buffer zone.
Right.
What is the nature of the wetland? What kind of?
I'd call it a red maple swamp. I mean, it's not, it's a lot of invasives in there. There's multi-floor rose, there's barberry growing in it. It's very rocky. As you go, this is kind of the outer edges. As we get closer to Rochdale Street, it becomes more of a defined, wetland where you have actually standing water.
Okay.
And what I propose to do is, below the work area, is to put in a row of straw wattles, down gradient of the proposed work.
What is the closest point to the wetland that you get from the bottles?
Probably around 20 feet. We could tighten that up a little bit.
Well,
So there is some disturbance within the 50-foot.
Yes, there's grading right here. This is a 50-foot right in here, so this would be the grading. So basically it's going to be level with the ground here, and it'll be flat, and then it'll slope back down to the ground. So the grading, we're removing the cesspool. So I would say we're probably looking at around 35 to 40 feet.
We get a waiver in this situation then?
No, that's just, he's not building the 25 foot.
Okay.
well, but like with erosion control,
Well, I think,
Do you have a 25-foot no disturb zone, or?
we have a 25-foot no build zone, but I think erecting erosion control measures are temporary.
oh, I see.
We could put them at 30 feet. I mean, that would be,
That might be
that would keep it out of your 25-foot zone,
Right.
and it wouldn't interfere with the project there.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that
that's
would
probably a better way to proceed.
Yeah.
So this 30,
How long do you think it'll take you to construct this?
Less than a week.
It's a system.
How big?
Yeah.
Probably maybe 4 or 5 feet in diameter,
Around
6 feet deep maybe.
Yeah. It's all dried up. It hasn't been used in
Thank God for that, huh?
15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing in it. It's basically just needs to be collapsed.
Right.
So it's not a safety hazard that if, the top does fall in down the road, somebody falls in there, but it was bone dry when I was out there.
Okay.
Dan, would you mind bringing it up?
We don't have a keyboard right now, it's got no batteries.
Oh, it's not working, okay. I got my phone.
Bring what up?
But usually we bring it up on the computer to see what things happen.
Use Google Maps just to look at the property.
Reliant on technology is a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Dependence.
It's gone to Board of Health, and so she had some minor comments.
Okay.
Originally, this was at some point a second dwelling on the property. Not the most developed. It was shed-like, but nonetheless, it had a toilet in there and a bedroom.
It
and
says a one-bedroom house.
Well, what I did is we had to, Frank's elected not to connect this to the system because there was zoning issues and things like that. So I have a revised plan here that just shows it as an outbuilding,
Okay.
not being connected. It shows a little bit less flow going into the system, but it was, originally he was interested in renovating this building there, but I guess there's the zoning issues and ZBA issues, and he's just elected now to, do away with it.
Yeah, just-
So I have a revised plan
So
here.
that's
that
for
would-
us?
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, very good.
And then there are other just additional notes that would pertain to the Board of Health. So I have a copy here that has highlighted changes,
Okay.
and then also a full-size print that's not, if you need more, we can.
Okay, I can scan it and give it to everybody and.
And then I have the green cards here, so I don't know if these,
Yep, I can get those.
Okay.
Thank you.
and the DEP file number, which you probably,
Yes, I have that, I
Okay.
believe. I think I printed out 3 of them.
we just bring everything just in case.
Oh, that's a good way to be.
And there's really not much of a, doesn't look like much of a gradient on that side. It's pretty flat over there.
Yeah, it pitches down probably 2 feet and 25 maybe. It's heavily vegetated. We're also going to relocate the well. He currently has a well here, right in front of the house. And again, to get it in compliance with Title V, we're going to move the well over here, and then that way it'll be over 100 feet from the leach field and not in conflict with anybody else's leach field.
Okay. Any other questions? Any comment from the audience?
I'd like to expect it as soon as possible, like a couple minutes. So.
All right. All right, if there are no other comments, is there a motion to close?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second. There you go.
Okay.
Quicker than you do. Go ahead.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. What do you put in your water?
Limes.
Oh.
Limes, okay, I didn't know, it looked like potatoes from here. My wife likes
Yeah, it's like,
cucumbers and herbs, I don't know why, but.
They've turned a little bit brown as opposed to the original green, so.
How long have you been in there?
Long enough, apparently.
I don't want to know
I think I drink.
questions I don't.
Everybody's a
When you
critic.
call me tomorrow, I can tell you.
What's that?
They're probably gonna make a vote at the end of the meeting, is that what you're planning on doing, or?
I'm not sure.
Mr.
I
Chairman.
wish I could find out.
I think we will have time to render a decision,
I'd
so.
appreciate it, because I really want to get going on this.
You know, you can go home, and from the comfort of your home, you can watch our meeting too, if you want.
I will.
You
It's
might
so
have already
fascinating.
voted by then.
I'm only 2 minutes away.
We're quick, but we're not that quick.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
See you, call me tomorrow, I'll be here after 9.
Okay, thank you.
All righty,
Have a good night.
thank you.
That's tough. I'm gonna be sitting on the other side soon, so.
How's that?
Just give that to Sharon.
You're close.
I'll make up for this slide. It's okay. There you
Thank
go.
you, thank you.
I just went for an 8-mile mountain bike ride, so I'm a little fatigued.
Oh, my goodness.
The problems of the first world.
That's right, exactly.
People out trying to like make ends meet.
Although I've enjoyed your derailleur explanations a lot.
Bye.
You fix it?
Did you fix it?
I don't know if I'm gonna buy the parts for it, because the thing is I don't need it. It would be a spare, so.
Hey,
You never know how many
gotta
stairs you
a
need
derailleur.
out there in the wilderness.
That's right.
You know, When you're trying to make
After
ends
the,
meet on that mountain bike,
after the
man, it
zombie
gets tough.
apocalypse, when we have no gasoline, and, you know.
No power. That's right.
Oh, you wanted to discuss the Pappas?
Oh,
I finally found the file, someone had it in their office.
oh,
I was starting to panic.
oh no.
Not again.
Yes.
Doesn't take much.
Okay. So you just wanted to look at the order of conditions?
I just wanted
This
to
was
know,
the amended.
do we have the ones where they're placing it behind the band shell?
This is the final plan, it says on it. This must be it.
This is under discussion, Mr. Lynn.
It wasn't on the agenda, but
What's the issue?
the location of the new
I just wanted
playground.
to, yeah, I just want to know if we had the updated version of where they're locating the playground behind Van Shell.
Much or anything.
And I was looking through there the other day,
Exactly, yeah.
after the reading that happened that morning earlier.
Sure.
Okay.
There's a pipe that comes out under the plate, of course this is going to get backfilled and all that. It's a
Right.
pipe that comes out and it had made like a little pond on the side, but then where it had been dug up from the granite curb that surrounds the play area, it slants down, and then from the brush and bushes slants down, so there's like a little trench in there, so the water was flowing through that trench into this pond. And I was just questioning, where is that water going, because it's
Okay.
going to be four souls.
Uh-huh.
This has a little discussion about the new drainage. That letter there.
What's the date?
Did you see January 21st, 2014?
Okay. Well, I mean, clearly, if it
Here's a
was-
letter from
Right.
Joanna Cakeman sent a letter saying the engineer's office is in receipt of the plans entitled Play Site Area, Dr. Arthur and Dr. Mark Pappas Recreation Complex, October 4th, 2013. The last revised January 21st, 2014, prepared by Leonard Engineering, in addition to revisions to the accompanying stormwater management report. Based on the review of these documents, the revision satisfies comments outlined in the Engineering Division's letter dated January 16th, 2014.
Well, you know, there's a difference between a plan and, you know, on-site conditions too.
Yeah.
So maybe we should take a look.
Do we have,
It doesn't say where the plan to be
have
built.
we issued them a certificate of compliance? I didn't
I
think
don't
so.
think they've ever come for us certificate of compliance.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is the letter from Leonard.
Connect the proposed stone dust walkway to the concrete pad at the performance pavilion. Okay, so it appears that that's what they've done. They've made provisions to do that walkway. So this must be from the plan for behind the pavilion then. This
Yes,
was
it
the
is.
question.
It is.
Question.
It says, agreed, the pipes underneath the walkway have been added to the plan in order to maintain the hydraulic connection to the existing culvert. Also, the existing 18-inch culvert near the wetland flag, C3R, is shown on the plan. You wanted to call Joanna Cakeman, she could probably answer any questions. I think she's been up there. As a matter of fact, she wanted me to send her a copy of the amended order of conditions not too long ago. She requested that.
Well, we can certainly take a look too. Maybe on Saturday if you're going to be available.
Really? Tonight. My next week. Like, what are those?
Yeah, we have time. We have time. Okay. Good. Okay, it's 7:30. The next item on our agenda is an application by Gordon Forsberg Jr., doing business as GUB Realty, request for determination. Is there a motion open?
So move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Mr. Forsberg? Hello,
evening.
how are you?
I'm good. I wish I had better news from my meeting with the planning board last night. They requested of me to redo my plan and reconfigure the parking lot, which I did. And they wanted to see some pictures of how the fence-in area was going to meet the building, and I gave them some pictures of that. So I gave them everything they asked for, but they decided that there were too many variables that they had no control over, so they denied my waiver and voted it down.
So what is that gonna do to your plan?
Well, what it does is well, I guess now I have to, I had put in for a waiver so that I didn't have to produce a site plan,
Okay.
fill out that application, because I'm not building anything. You know, I'm not adding any buildings, I'm not adding any pavement, I'm not, you know, there's an existing pavement of which fence is gonna go on. They're gonna drill some holes in the concrete and they're gonna put this fence up. So, you know, they felt like, you know, they said, how many cars are gonna go inside of this fence? And I even had my tenant with me, Christine O'Leary. And we said 20 to 25 cars. And if there were if they were going to have more than that amount of cars, that they would have them on another lot. That they have had, you know, a number of lots in the past to bring vehicles. This is their offices and a place where they bring some of their vehicles. And again, this is recovery. These are not being stored there. They are temporary storage. They come and they go, they come and they go. The planning board doesn't feel that they're going to honor the 25 car limit. And they said, what if one day you have 25 cars in there and the next day you get 3 cars and you decide to bring them to that lot? Christine said, well, I wouldn't bring them to that lot because we've already got 25 cars in that lot. Well, that was something that they feel they can't control. They want to control that, the number of cars, according to the 2 men who, and they also can't control, they wanted perhaps, you know, they referred to Fuller, who had to submit a plan, a site plan for his new digs on there on Route 20. But he's putting in buildings, and he's an auto body, and he's a garage. I mean, they do oil changes there. This is not what this is not what I'm providing for Lucky 13. Still, too many variables. That what if one of the cars leaks? You know, do you have an oil separator? I said, sir, I don't even know what an oil separator is. So, so they motioned to deny my waiver, and I don't know. I didn't have any. I did everything they asked me to do, and I told you tonight that I would tell you what the distance is from the parking lot to the canal, to the waterway, which I did it with a rangefinder, and my son and I, with some measurements that we had a 100-foot tape measure, had to go down through the thicket. But there's only one piece, one little area of the parking lot that is 90 feet to the water. And most of the area, most of the parking lot, most of the areas of the parking lot, you know, you know, are at its closest distance are 105 feet to 125 feet, depending on where you are in the parking lot. But there is one corner that it's 30 feet to the place where the bank-in goes down, and then the bank-in is pretty consistent, 60 feet down the lot, you know, to the water. And of course, there's probably, if you could put a bridge over it, it would be 20, you know, it's a 20-foot drop,
Right.
plus a 60-foot, and I don't know the physics of it, but anyway,
Well, isn't our rule here fairly narrow?
It is
In this,
narrow, and
so-
yeah,
I suppose-
and they said to me, well, we'd be interested to see what the conservation.
I mean, I'm just not used to hearing the planning board say no,
Well,
and then something coming before us and hearing that they have said, we need more something.
I mean, I think the first question I would have is, by virtue of them denying your waiver, what is it gonna do to this particular plan? It's gonna change it, correct?
It's not going to change a bit.
Well,
I mean,
But
what-
they've said
what
they need more detail from you, or?
what they want to do is, I don't know if they want me to put in security cameras to make sure that, you know, I'm monitoring how many cars are there.
But I mean, there's a maximum
it's-
number of cars that'll fit. Are they concerned that you're gonna start parking vehicles that should be inside there in the regular parking spaces?
Yeah, and they just don't believe, they didn't, I asked them, I said, if my tenant tells me she's not gonna park a recovered vehicle elsewhere, or, you know, anywhere but in the
Fenced area.
in the designated area, I'm going to believe her. And then he said, and he very, one of the gentlemen said, you mean to tell me that some afternoon, if they've got 3 cars they gotta recover, that they might just not bring them there, knowing? And I thought to myself, what kind of question is that for me? So, you know what? I'm not gonna go where they're going, and I don't know. You know, they mentioned that. Well, there's complaints out there. You know, you've got someone's complaining about this lot, and I said, but I've informed all the abutters, and there are no abutters here. So how much of and I wanted to ask him what neighbor he represented, you know, at the board meeting. So I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I know that you were going to make a decision whether you thought the fence was feasible. And
My only concern is,
It's within the
we can
50-foot
judge,
zone.
to your point, we can judge this plan, but if you gotta go back and give another plan again,
This isn't the actual plan
then
then.
we're not gonna. have
yeah, no, I mean,
judgment
they're
on
telling me
that
I have
plan.
to,
It's
yeah,
like-
and you know what, if they're going to, you know, last night was an absolute waste of my time. I really felt like it was, because they told me what they wanted me to do, and I initiated that.
Uh-huh.
And that wasn't the, you know, they kind of made it, you know, they said, oh, well, now there's, you know, new criteria. So, and so maybe if I fill out a site plan, it's a different application, maybe you know, they said, you can come in on July 14th, have your application in on such and such a date, and you know, we'll start again. And I thought, but what? Well, start again with what?
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
it's the same thing. It's just a different application, maybe.
Go ahead.
Not to interrupt, but
That's right.
I mean, I suppose we could judge this plan and judge area A, and that would be one. But then if he has another one, we'd have to do that again.
That's
So,
right.
I just,
Mr. Forsberg, based on what I've heard from you,
Mm-hmm.
I think probably maybe the best way to proceed is just to continue this, to see how you make out with the planning board
Yeah.
at your next meeting.
Right.
And, you know, it's not uncommon for applicants to continue meetings. We just heard, there was a project today that had started in February.
Right.
So there's no problem with us continuing this
Yeah.
to see how if you make any progress with them.
Well, I appreciate that. And the only thing that I feel bad for is that my tenant
Yeah.
really needs to speed this process up.
Uh-huh.
You know, their insurance companies are saying, look, these cars, these vehicles need to be in a fenced-in area,
Sure.
and that's what you agreed to, and we don't have a fenced-in area yet. So she's saying, and she said, you know what, I don't think I can stay here, so now I lose a tenant. I also have to pay the taxes on the property.
Well, the other
And-
thing is, I mean, didn't we had specifically, didn't we have two concerns that A, how long are the cars being stored there because this is storage of vehicles in the buffer zone?
Right.
Because it looks, just to my eye, it looks like the great majority of this fenced-in parking area is within 100 feet of the edge of the wetland. And I believe there's a different situation between having cars parked in parking spaces for maybe a couple hours at a time and cars being stored inside a fenced area for, were we talking about like a day or possibly more? I don't know if we had a definite
Maybe.
answer on that.
Yeah,
And then the
what?
other question, the other specific question is, you're building a structure, even though it's just a fence, you're building a structure, it looks like, once again, the majority of which is within 100-foot, it's within the 100-foot buffer zone, and some of it is within the 50-foot, where we're trying to avoid having construction of structures within the 50-foot zone.
Yeah, well, it's 90 feet.
Well, it looks like the
Yeah.
closest point of that corner is 30.
Well, that's 30 to the edge of the, that's 30
Top of the
to,
canal.
to the top of the
Okay.
banking. Then the banking goes down 60 feet, and there's a 20-foot drop in that 60-foot length. So if you consider, I don't know.
That's the other thing, is we're used to seeing plans or
I know. Well,
illustrations where it shows to the edge of the wetland, as opposed to, because the 30 and the 80 foot here, from our perspective, the way I look at it, isn't really relevant. We're more interested in to the edge of the wetland. Because here it's kind of vague as to what those actual numbers are.
It's not the same.
So, to my mind, there's not quite enough information on this from our perspective either.
Well,
Okay,
if you
let's get
just
this
look
one.
at, and I just penciled, I'm not an engineer. I had a friend, somebody did me a favor, like, this is my son who did this.
But I mean,
I don't
typically
have
the
any,
plan...
I don't have any money to have anybody draw me an engineer plan. I really don't. I don't have that. I'm doing the best I can to manage this property for my elderly parents, and who my father is not with us any longer, and my mother lives in Florida, and I'm just trying to do the best with the equipment that I've got, and.
I mean, I can't speak to the planning board, but was their concern more that the number was too high or that the number was uncertain? Because I'm sure there are plans that go before the planning board all the time where they say, okay, we're going to have as many as 25 cars inside this parking area, but if your answer was it was uncertain...
No, it was certain.
It was
because
certain.
it's actually going to, it's in the, I can put it in the verbiage of the monthly rental agreement if that was what they wanted to hear.
I mean, we can't,
Right.
I think you can sense we're sympathetic to your
Yeah.
situation with the
Yep.
planning board. but
And I'm
we-
not sure relative to the oil separator issue, because this is an if this was a building that was enclosed, I think that may be something you have to do, but being this is outdoors, exposed to the elements, where if there was an oil leak from a car, that's one issue, but you also have, precipitation like rain is going to land on this area as well, so...
So you're gonna go back to the planning board next month, July 14th, did you say?
Yeah, if I have a tenant, I will go back.
All right,
If I don't have a tenant,
then you will
I'll
go
just,
back.
I'll just look for, somebody that's harmless and an office or something that,
So how do you feel about continuing this to our second meeting in July, which would be the 22nd of July, Sheila?
Is it possible to
The,
cut back on the number of cars?
The planning board's concern had nothing to do with where the water,
It's not our
where,
concern,
your concern on the, I mean, it was a concern, but it was not the key
22nd,
concern. Their concern was
Second meeting, the
Yeah.
22nd.
Is it Wednesday, right?
the
Yeah.
number of cars that were there.
So if you cut back on the number of cars by maybe 2, would that satisfy them better?
You know what? It was something that they could not, if the lot held 50 cars, they can't control it becoming 60 cars.
So it doesn't sound like.
So
that
it has
can
nothing-
Regardless.
It's a
Yeah,
control
what's going
thing.
on.
They just don't believe that they were going to adhere to, and that's,
Looks like
that,
it.
and that was the, I asked my tenant, I said, was that your thought was I imagining that, or was that your impression? And she said that was absolutely my impression. They just would rather control something than, and just not have, they would just rather not have them there than have them go somewhere else. This is something that we can't control them there. And so your waiver is denied.
That would be like having a dealership with a 25 car lot approval. I mean, how are they controlling that? Yeah, they might bring a couple extra cars
There's
in
a
from the
lot-
auction, you know,
I
that's.
know, there's a lot of cars, there's
How they control
that's,
that.
well, Route 20,
So,
I don't know that.
so is, again, my suggestion was, why don't we continue this to July 22nd? and
July 22nd.
That'll be our
if
next
you-
meeting after the planning.
If you
board.
have better luck with the planning board the next time, maybe we'll see you then.
Yeah,
And I would just say for our purposes, if you can get, so those same two numbers, if you can get us numbers that are to the edge of the wetland,
right.
because from our perspective, those two numbers are not really helpful. Because a lot of our issues have to do with where construction is relative to the edge of a wetland, where things lay inside a buffer zone.
Right.
The 80 foot and the 30 foot is not telling us to the edge of the wetland.
Okay, well,
So those are the numbers we
Right.
really need.
okay, so I will, basically what will happen for your, so that I'm seeing you clearly, that this number will change here to 90, and this will extend to a blue stream, because this is the beginning of the blue stream, and of course it will be relative to
Okay.
its size.
Yeah, that would be
Okay,
helpful.
that is more the number we're looking for.
Yep, that's,
Because then that's the difference between something looking like it's within a 50 foot buffer zone or just at the edge of a 25 foot no build zone versus being a healthy distance away inside a buffer zone. Now the other question is, have we ironed this out with other project proponents, what the status is of vehicles stored in the buffer zone?
No.
Because once again, those numbers will look better, maybe only the edge of this is within the 100 foot. So we'll see.
there is just a small piece of that which is,
Okay,
which I mentioned to you is 90 feet.
okay,
But I would say 95% of that parking lot is the cars, there'd be one car that would be 90 feet from the water.
Right.
Okay.
All the other cars would be over the 100 feet,
Gotcha.
because
Okay.
it's that one corner,
Right.
which, yeah.
Do we have anything scheduled for July 22nd?
July, no.
Okay, so 7 o'clock then?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so Mr. Forsberg, we're going to continue this to July 22nd at 7 p.m.
7?
Yes.
Okay.
And if, again, depending on how you make out with the planning board the next time,
Is that a Wednesday?
it is a Wednesday. We
Yeah.
meet the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month.
Okay.
And if it appears that you're not going to proceed with this, if you would just let
Right.
Ms. Conroy know, so you don't have to come here on the
We've emailed,
22nd.
have we emailed? Maybe.
Or you can just call her.
On email.
Okay, I'll just call you here at in the town hall. Okay.
And, if you're going to proceed with this and you have like updated measurements, or
Okay.
please provide them to us
Yeah,
at
okay.
that meeting.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Great, thank you for your time.
all right, thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
Here's my number.
Okay, Sheila. Yeah, I think we've emailed.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I think it's
All right,
probably more.
alrighty.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry to be a downer,
happens.
but God, I was disappointed last night. I
Yeah.
can't tell you how
Serious.
disappointed I was.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
So we have 2 orders of condition to issue.
OOCs.
OOCs, that's right.
Yeah, 2 to issue.
For the people under.
Okay.
So we're gonna need our special order conditions.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a sheet?
I do.
Okay, so
Mike,
We don't have a committed to
I
that.
keep
Mine-
using mine.
Mine keep on disappearing, I don't know why.
I took your last one and I lost it.
That's why,
I'm
and
sorry.
you've lost.
That's why we keep running out.
Who needs one?
Michelle's fault. I'll take another
I'm
one.
clearing a rainforest.
That's all right. That's the one down there. There you go.
I might take a picture of it and put it on my phone.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We know Dan's all set, right?
Well,
I could use one.
Oh.
see.
Don't correct my errors on it.
Oh, no promises.
Okay.
Wait, errors?
Is that one been revised, Sheila? Looks different
This hasn't
than the one
changed
I
in
have.
years.
I might have just made it a bigger font. 'cause I
Oh,
see tiny
oh.
fonts.
A bigger font? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
13 space, don't.
All right, so why don't we do, if you will agree, Jonathan and Deborah Mallett first. That's 219 West Street. So we'll need a motion, we'll need someone to recite the special conditions. Come on, don't be chicken. It's like riding a bicycle.
Like a mountain bike,
Yeah, like
like that,
a
with a broken derailleur
Dan-
system.
off of
I
a
think our
cliff.
fearless
Hint,
co-chair
hint.
should do this.
Did you guys do I don't think I did a site visit to this place. Was this one that was visited?
No, it was not.
That was kind of just put on the agenda at the last minute.
But again, I thought the presentation was very thorough,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know?
And it
I think
was
it's pretty straightforward, so.
Yeah.
Special order,
Well, standard order plus.
standard order plus.
right?
Number 1.
Okay,
Okay, read it off.
please.
There shall be
No,
no.
no, 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 don't.
Okay.
Just-
You have to read it, just
Just the
next
numbers.
number.
Special order number 1.
Okay,
Number 2.
yes,
Number 3.
yes,
Number 4.
no.
There's no replication.
Oh, right, right.
Number 5.
Correct,
There's no replication area. There's no riprap. Number 8.
correct,
Snow storage isn't an issue. Endangered species are not an issue. Number 11.
yes.
Number 12. Except
Well,
there's no restoration area,
There's-
so
well,
strike
there's-
that.
There's no alteration either.
Okay.
This is
Right.
buffer zone activity. And there's no 13
There's no
either.
13. So,
Okay.
so that would be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5,
Right,
number 8,
yep,
and 11.
okay. That's your motion?
I so move.
All right, is there a second?
Yes,
Is that a second?
yes.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Okay.
All right.
Nicely done.
That's
job, Dan.
That's all right.
It's like riding a bike.
Off the cliff.
Oh,
Broken
jeez.
What's the other one?
Cha-ching.
129 West.
120.
Look at 219 and
I know,
129.
isn't that interesting?
Wow.
Well, stuff going on over
Let's
there on
not
that
get them
side of town.
confused.
Oh.
Okay, do you want
Take a picture of this.
pass around a signature sheet?
Oh, certainly.
You know, keep trying to keep them separate in our own minds.
See if that works.
Is this mine?
Not mine. I don't know.
Selfie.
What's in my water bottle? Sheila?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you try it.
Read it, look it.
In the meeting.
Yeah, the technology's amazing now.
Isn't it shocking?
I don't think this is mine.
That actually
Well,
works.
it's
So
not
now
mine.
it'll be on my
Water.
phone.
It's yours now.
Maybe
previous
it's
phone
taking
would've been a blur.
the brown lines in it.
Oh, don't even tell me that.
It still tastes fine. Jeez.
Oh,
Next time I'll make sure to peel the skins off of it just for your benefit, Chuck.
Hey, you do what you want.
Actually, if you do peel the skins off, it doesn't make it as
It's not as bitter. Well, it's bitter.
Yeah.
That's the problem with having skin on there.
Right.
It's bitter, kind of like this guy.
Sign the thing and then we'll do the next one. We're not doing the next one until everyone signs?
Well, but
yes.
it's,
It's
It's
almost
making its
there.
way around.
It's almost there.
Is there a game on, Chuck? There's always a game on.
I just want to make sure, I want to make sure we keep them separate.
Oh
that's all.
boy.
Thing that
See what
Here
I
we
do?
go.
gonna happen
Good, that's
tonight.
fine. Okay.
Here we go
All right,
again.
boys and
It
girls,
wasn't me.
Are you doing it, Dan, again?
he can't help himself.
Yes.
All
right, for
It's
120
a Hawaiian shirt.
I think you should, Chuck.
It's gonna be the
You
Hawaiian
can
shirt.
do it.
I can.
You're so good at commenting.
I will bring my gavel next
Come
time.
on.
You go for it, Chuck.
All right, so I move that,
Okay, we're talking 129 West Street now, correct?
Yes.
The Pappas project, okay.
with respect to the Pappas product,
You're on.
Pappas project at 129 West Street, not to be confused with other Pappas project.
What we're gonna do?
I make a motion that we order standard order plus special condition 1,
Okay,
2,
right.
3,
Mm-hmm.
4,
Right,
5, 6.
yes.
I don't know about 7. Do
I
they
don't think
have
there's any riprap. You can put it in there if you want.
7?
I don't think there's riprap there for this project,
8.
right?
I
9.
don't know about this one. Is it 9?
Yes.
Okay. And
11.
10 does not apply.
Right.
11,
Right,
12,
and,
13.
okay, and also, if you will recall, the applicant has requested a waiver because they are building within the 25-foot no-build zone. So,
And
and what we've been doing, what I've been doing is when we make a determination whether or not a waiver should be granted, there's a narrative that, I prepared narratives just to sort of explain the methodology in accordance with our regulations. So if we choose, basically, the project cannot proceed unless waivers are granted.
right.
So as part of, are you also requesting that a waiver be
Yes,
granted?
I'm requesting a waiver for the 25-foot zone.
Okay. All right, and we can, again, when I do the narrative, I'll be happy to circulate it. I can explain the reasons why. If you think the waiver is granted, why it's been granted. Okay,
Yeah,
so-
that's fine. Do we have a standard
No, we don't.
document for that? So each
Not
one
yet.
is different.
Well, I think what we can do and what we maybe should do is to also incorporate as an additional special condition when a waiver is granted. I
Because
think
there are
it's-
specific things that we went over last time that
That's
have
right.
to be met. So you can
Right.
just say those reasons. Maybe have a checkbox,
Yeah.
separate sheet, checkbox.
I think it's something
A,
worth
B, C,
working on.
D or something.
Right. I think it's something worth working on, but since we're still kind of feeling our way with the waiver regulations, I'm doing the narratives.
The only concern I have is how do you ensure payment? Would I hold back on issuing the order of conditions? I mean, usually if there's any wages due, that money's all collected in the beginning. And then, then they go about their business. It's usually an upfront thing, not after the fact, just like we're doing here. See, usually if they, probably what we should do, if they know they're going to be asking for a waiver, they should probably bring a check that night.
Well,
Or,
but you can't, that's the cart before the
Well,
horse.
yeah,
You know, you can't
Well-
assume that a waiver is always going to be granted. We just denied a waiver request, if you recall, at the last
So that
meeting.
if they come with
Yeah.
money,
So,
they want something.
I suspect what we can do is, we'll have to figure out a way. I mean, you raise a
Yeah.
really good point, and I absolutely agree with you, so we'll have to figure out a way to do
all
it,
right.
okay?
Right, but I would move that the waiver be granted for this project.
Okay.
Pursuant to the narrative that you will provide, that this board will provide.
Correct, okay. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
All right, so I know I'm late on this because sometimes I think of things after. But should we have put that instead of 50 feet as well, we put 30 feet?
It was gonna be 20 and they moved it to 30. So
I
that
think
they
what we can
did,
do
Into
is,
it.
But that was,
they moved
We
it
didn't say
30
that's
feet
part of the
away from the
condition.
buffer.
Well, and that's not
something
But
yeah, maybe we
everybody
need to
like I
iron out
said-
whether placing erosion control measures counts as building, well,
It's not.
It's temporary.
Okay, all right, perfect.
He said he
So that's
put up
fine.
30
So we don't
feet.
have to do anything, so, perfect.
Well, and grading doesn't count the same as building structure. Because that was the issue here, is you have grading between 50 and 25 foot, right? Or inside.
okay. Is there anything else?
we have site visit.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can do it fairly quickly.
Thank you.
We can just go to 1 William Street and with the as-built plan. And then I think we should also take a visit, or make a visit to the Pabst recreational area where the playground is and see what's going on there too.
I'll have my assistant,
He's a valuable resource.
Scrivener.
Actually,
So
he should
Pappas
become an
is you
associate
going
member
to?
of ours.
I know, an agent,
Yeah.
Pretty
maybe
much.
respect eventually, in training.
So that's going to be this Saturday, you're planning on doing those inspections?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Next meeting is
Yeah, I
July
might be able to make
8th.
it to that.
I've given packets for the next meeting. There was an addition, Stelmach is going to be submitting the notice of intent for their roadway into the subdivision, which that'll be coming in tomorrow, which I didn't have it yet, so,
Okay.
I might try and get mine in by then too.
yeah. Okay.
It's 8 is the next one.
Tomorrow's the deadline.
Tomorrow? Yeah, it's not gonna happen by then. So
Okay.
it won't happen.
Okay.
So then one after that.
All right.
Okay. All right. If no one has anything else, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's vote. Thank you very much, everyone.